More news, rumors and opinions Friday afternoon, the 2nd of May 2025. Listen to the full version on the official dinarreport.com website and become our supporter on Patreon. Gold Telegraph. The world has quietly lived through a monetary revolution. Over the past 55 years, the world has quietly lived through a monetary revolution. What began in 1971 as a temporary suspension of the dollar's convertibility into gold, declared by President Nixon, became a permanent departure from Bretton Woods, replacing gold-backed stability with a floating fiat experiment tied to oil. The petrodollar. It was never meant to last. Even Paul Volcker, who helped design the suspension, believed it would be short-lived. Instead, it became the foundation of today's system, a system that has fueled an unprecedented explosion of global debt and left nations at the mercy of a currency no longer anchored to anything real. We're living inside a monetary experiment, and history shows these always end the same way. People know my position, I have been clear about it for years. But a new article is on the way, unpacking Scott Bessent's latest comments and the shifting role of the petrodollar. The US dollar is the current anchor of the international monetary system. But think about this. Nations are propping up a currency that holds immense privilege, yet that anchor has become a weapon. It can freeze your sovereign assets, crush your economy, and finance itself through unlimited money printing, all while sitting on a mountain of record-breaking debt. Do you think the majority of nations are happy about this? The United States Treasury Secretary says bond yields are signaling it's time for the Federal Reserve to cut rates. This is getting very entertaining. Breaking news. Japan's finance minister said that the country's U.S. Treasury holdings could be a card in its trade negotiations. Boom. There it is. Nobody should act surprised. It does exist as a card, said Kato, speaking on a TV Tokyo program Friday. Whether or not we use that card is a different decision. Former Treasury Secretary and Fed Chair Janet Yellen has joined the advisory board of a climate-focused venture capital firm. You can't make this stuff up. The jokes write themselves. The largest foreign holder of U.S. Treasuries just signaled it might weaponize its $1 trillion stockpile in trade talks. This is a big warning *T. This should be the day's biggest story, but many are just glossing over it. Frank 26, Iraq Boots on the Ground Report, Firefly. Mr. Sammy says Alak is the man. He was brought back to Iraq to run the CBI, and he was brought back to control the rate. He worked with Shabibi before his health went bad. Alak knows the plan. Frank. Thank you, Mr. Sammy. I'm going to give in because you guys are there. He will release the new exchange rate, therefore he's in control, but he will release it when it is given to him. Firefly. That's why they, Parliament, have tried for so long to get Alak out of his job. They know he's working on changing the rate. Militiaman, what we have seen so far in the news is all positive, nothing that's considered to be worrisome as far as I can see. The tone from Washington has been positive. They've been talking about support for Iraq's monetary reforms by the largest financial institutions in the world: United States Treasury, Federal Reserve, International Monetary Fund, World Bank, IFC. The focus has been about security, stability, sustainability, partnerships with the public and private sectors, investment opportunities. The 1st of July, Gold Liberation Day, LFTVEP 221. Kinesis Money. The 2nd of May 2025. In this week's Live from the Vault, Andrew Maguire breaks down gold's recent sharp rise and fall, exposing how short-term volatility is engineered through unbacked U.S. paper markets, now facing a reckoning as Basel III enforcement draws near. As China steps up physical gold acquisition and global FX markets eclipse COMEX in both credibility and scale. July's compliance deadline threatens to shift gold's pricing power eastward, marking a structural break from Western dominance. Listen to the full version on the official dinarreport.com website and become our supporter on Patreon. Source: Dinar Recaps.